You're at a nice restaurant. You order the salmon. The server brings out your plate. It looks beautiful, Instagram worthy even. There's a piece of salmon the size of a deck of cards, artfully arranged on a smear of sauce with 3 asparagus spears crossed on top and a tiny pile of microgreens. You stare at it. Where's the rest? The bill comes. $38 for the salmon, plus tax, plus tip. You're $50 deep, and you'll be hungry again in 2 hours. Meanwhile, your parents are sitting across from you, confused, because they remember when $38 got you a massive steak, a baked potato, a salad, bread, and probably enough leftovers for lunch tomorrow. So, how did we get here? That's exactly what this channel exposes. Hit subscribe. How did restaurant portions shrink to nothing while prices somehow doubled? Let's rewind to the 1990s and early 2000s. Chain restaurants ruled. Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Olive Garden, TGI Fridays, and they gave you food, mountains of it. Portions were obscene. A plate of pasta could feed 3 people. Burgers came with fries piled so high they spilled over. The breadsticks at Olive Garden were unlimited. The philosophy was simple. Give people so much food they can't finish it and they'll feel like they got their money's worth. Value was quantity. You'd order an appetizer to share, split an entree, and still have leftovers. Going out to eat meant eating for 2 days. The doggy bag was standard, expected. Nobody felt weird asking for one. Prices were reasonable too. A full meal at a chain restaurant was maybe $12 to $15. Cheaper if you hit the early bird special or had a coupon. Then, something shifted in the 2010s. The foodie culture took over. Suddenly, caring about food became a personality trait. Restaurants weren't just about feeding you anymore. They were about the experience, the concept, the story. Farm to table became the buzzword. Locally sourced, sustainable, artisanal, organic. These words justified charging more while serving less. The pitch was, we're not giving you quantity, we're giving you quality. This isn't mass-produced chain restaurant food. This is carefully curated, ethically sourced, chef-driven cuisine. And to some extent, that's fair. Better ingredients cost more. Smaller restaurants have higher overhead than chains. But here's where it gets sneaky. The portion sizes dropped dramatically, but the prices went up even more dramatically. You used to get a 12-ounce steak for $20. Now you're getting a 6-ounce steak for $42? Yes, it's grass-fed and locally raised, but it's also half the size for double the price. That's not inflation. That's not better ingredients. That's just less food for more money. And if you've ever looked at a restaurant plate and thought, that's it? Hit that like button. The algorithm needs to know people are tired of paying premium prices for appetizer-sized portions. The plating changed too. This is where Instagram ruined everything. Food started being designed to look good in photos, not to fill you up. Tiny portions arranged artistically on huge white plates. Negative space became a feature, not a bug. 3 ravioli on a plate the size of a hubcap. A deconstructed dish where they separate everything so it looks like more. Foam. Smears of sauce, microgreens that add nothing but look fancy. You'd post the photo, your friends would comment, "That looks amazing," and then you'd leave the restaurant hungry and hit a drive-thru on the way home. Restaurants realized they could charge more for less if they made it look pretty enough. The language on menus changed too. Everything became elevated. A grilled cheese is now a artisan Gruyere melt on house-made sourdough. That'll be $16. For a grilled cheese? Burgers became craft burgers. Fries became hand-cut artisan fries. Pizza became wood-fired Neapolitan-style pizza. It's marketing. It's the same food, just with fancier words so you feel okay about paying triple. And portion sizes shrank across the board, not just at fancy places. Fast food did it too. This is called shrinkflation. Your burger is smaller. Your fries container is narrower. Your drink is the same cup, but there's more ice. But fast food prices went up anyway. A combo meal that was $5 in 2010 is $12 now, and you're getting less food. Sit-down chain restaurants caught on. Applebee's and TGI Fridays started offering lighter portions and small plates as options, which sounds like choice, except the regular portions shrunk too, and now the old regular portion is the large that costs extra. The psychology is brilliant. They made you feel gluttonous for wanting a normal amount of food. Oh, you want the large? Are you sure? That's a lot of food. No, that's what you used to serve as the standard portion. You just shrunk it and renamed everything. Sushi restaurants started doing chef's choice omakase experiences. $150 per person. You get 8 pieces of sushi and leave hungry. But it was curated, so you're supposed to feel sophisticated, not ripped off. Tapas and small plates became trendy. The idea is you order multiple small dishes to share. Sounds fun and communal, except each small plate is $14 to $18, and you need to order 5 of them to feel full. Your bill is $200 for 2 people, and you ate what used to be 1 entree's worth of food total. The drinks got bigger though. Funny how that works. Cocktails are now $16 to $20. They're elaborate, Instagram-worthy, served in fancy glassware with garnishes, but they're also mostly ice, juice, and 1 shot of alcohol. The profit margin on drinks is insane, so restaurants push them hard. Your server suggests a cocktail before you even open the menu, offers the wine list before you've ordered food. They make their money on drinks now because the food portions don't have enough margin anymore. Oh wait, that's not true. The portions are tiny and the prices are high. They're making money on both. You're just getting less. Appetizers became a scam too. You used to be able to order an appetizer as a light meal. Not anymore. Appetizers are now $14 to $18 and consist of 3 items. 3. You're paying $15 for 3 mozzarella sticks, or 4 chicken wings, or a charcuterie board that's 3 crackers, 2 slices of cheese, and a spoonful of jam. But they call it a charcuterie board and arrange it on a wooden plank so it's worth $18 somehow? The pandemic accelerated everything. Restaurants had to survive on takeout, so they raised prices to compensate for lower volume. Fair enough. But they never lowered them back. Now you're paying pandemic prices for dine-in service with pandemic-sized portions. And tipping culture went insane at the same time. Tips used to be 15%, then 18%. Now the default options on the tablet they flip toward you are 20%, 25%, and 30%. You just paid $50 for a tiny piece of salmon, and now you're expected to tip $15 on top of it? For what? The server brought out 1 plate and refilled your water once. Meanwhile, the back-of-house staff, who actually cooked the food, aren't seeing any of that tip. But that's a whole other problem. Economic pressures hit restaurants hard, to be fair. Rent in major cities is insane. Labor costs went up. Food costs went up. Restaurants operate on thin margins. But instead of raising prices proportionally and keeping portions the same, they raised prices and shrunk portions, double dipping. You can't even get a good value at cheap places anymore. Chipotle's burrito bowls are smaller. Subway's footlong isn't actually a foot anymore. They got sued over that. Taco Bell removed half their menu and raised prices on what's left. The dollar menu doesn't exist. Everything at McDonald's is $3 to $5 now, for food that used to literally cost $1. We've also normalized paying restaurant prices for casual food. $15 for a sandwich and a lunch spot, $12 for a salad, $8 for a coffee and a muffin. None of this is sit-down service. You're ordering at a counter, getting your own water, bussing your own table, and still paying prices that used to include full service. The worst part is, we've accepted it. We've been trained to think this is normal. That's just what restaurants cost now. Everything is more expensive. Quality over quantity. But it's not quality. It's just less. And you're paying more for it. The doggy bag became rare too, because there's nothing left to take home. You finish your tiny portion and you're still hungry, but the plate is clean. And asking for bread, which used to be free and unlimited, now costs $8 for 4 small pieces of bread that cost them maybe 50 cents to make. So how did we get here? Foodie culture justified smaller portions as quality. Instagram made pretty plating more important than quantity. Restaurants learned they could charge more for less if they used the right buzzwords. Economic pressures hit, and instead of being honest about price increases, they shrunk portions too. The pandemic gave cover for raising prices. We normalized paying more while getting less. And somehow, we're all just okay with leaving restaurants hungry and $100 poorer. The social contract broke. Restaurants used to feed you. Now they give you an experience that requires a second dinner afterward. Maybe the real question isn't how we got here, it's why we're still paying for it. If you've ever left a restaurant still hungry after dropping $80, hit that like and subscribe button. We're documenting every industry that figured out they could give you less while charging more. And restaurants perfected it. There's plenty more where this came from.